A very good evening to all my dear students. Welcome for today's class. Good evening, Deepika, Aarti, all the students who have joined with us on the portal also. A very warm welcome to the class. Shamli Sharma, good evening. So I hope you have revised what we have done in the previous class. Good evening, Satish. Glad you're here in the class today. Theosumi, Prerna, Savia Khan, everybody, welcome to the class. And the students on the portal, let me just read out their names also. Geeta, good evening. So I hope you all have revised what we have done in the previous class. And everybody is geared up to move forward and learn about annual general meeting and EGM today. Mr. Santosh Dash, good evening. Mr. Hemant G, I can't join. I'm facing issue with Zoom. Don't worry, Mr. Hemant G. You can write on your queries to us over here also on the portal. Good evening, Adil. All right. So once again, a very warm welcome to each one of you present over here on behalf of ICAI. So let's move forward in the chapter that we have just started day before yesterday. Kervi Gupta, good evening. Welcome to the class. So we have started with management and administration, and we have learned a lot about the registers, about the forms, about the penalties. So here is your quick test as well as revision before we proceed further ahead in the chapter. So children, in today's class, we will be covering largely about the meetings. We have already done the registers part as well as the annual return. So the first question that comes to all of you is that if I have members who are residing in Singapore and I have kept a register for them in Singapore, in which form that register will be kept? MGT 1, 2, 3 or MGT 4? Which is the correct form number? MGT 4, somebody has written, oh my God, absolutely incorrect. Yes, MGT 3, Deepika. MGT 1 is for the equity and preference shareholders residing in India as well as outside India. But I told you specifically, if the members who are residing outside India and I have kept the register in that country, so that is a foreign register and it shall be maintained in MGT 3. Everybody correct? Yes, Shamli Sharma, Anubhav Malik, everybody is correct. MGT 3. Theosumi. Pooja B. MGT 1, no, wrong answer. So MGT 1 is for the equity and preference shareholders in India and outside India, both. That's correct. But you have to see that equity and preference shareholder residing in India or outside India, and the register which is kept in India is MGT 1 for equity shareholders, for debenture holders MGT 2, and other security holders is also MGT 2. Specifically, we did for the foreign register. If you're authorized by the articles, you're keeping in any country where the members of equity and debenture holders are residing in that country, then that register is known as foreign register, and the company will file it MGT 3 form. And also the company shall file MGT 3 in case of any discontinuance of this register within 30 days of opening of the foreign register. Is that clear? Okay, now within how many days the entries shall be made in MGT 1 and MGT 2? Within 7 days of what? Board's approval or allotment of securities? Yes. Within 7 days of board's approval, approving the allotment of securities. That is what we have learned. Very good, Prerna. Excellent. If the number of members are 100, do I need to maintain the index? If the number of members are 100, do I need to maintain the index? Yes, ma'am. If the number of members exceed 50, then index is required. Otherwise, if the number of members are less than 50, then index is not compulsory. If I want to keep my register MGT1 outside the place where I'm residing, where the registered office is situated, then how many members shall be residing in that particular city? Then how many members? SR will be required and 1/10 of the members should be residing in that particular city. Very good. Very good. Excellent, children. And for the every entry made in the foreign register, within how many days the entry shall be transmitted to the principal register? 30 days, 15 days, 40 days, how many days? 15 days. Anubhav Malik sending all the answers quickly. Very good. Pooja B, Shamli Sharma, all the answers are correct. Excellent. Deepika, Savya Khan, Geeta, Prerna, everybody doing well. Indrani V, all the answers are correct. Wonderful. Adil Khan. Excellent. Linga R, Jaya Manucha. Mr. Chavan is also here today. Very good. All the answers are correct. Linga R, everybody. Harsh, Mishra, all the answers are correct. Well done, students. Prince, great. So then after that, we did one is registered owner and one is beneficial owner. Who is going to tell me? You can raise your hands also if you want to answer because it's a quick recap of the previous lecture. So what is the meaning of a beneficial owner? Who is going to tell me? What do you understand by beneficial owner? Pajapati, very good. Who is a beneficial owner? Jaya Manocha. Kuldeep Nagar, all the answers are correct. Bacha, Ria. Okay, Kuldeep has only raised the hands. Ria, it was not 30 days, it was 15 days. Yes, Kuldeep.
Every person who holds beneficial owner not less than 25% of shares of a company or right to exercise. And
Which book are you following? Which book are you following? 25% was long ago. And you're telling me about significant beneficial owner. He is for
yeah,
10% of
and then
security.
rules amended. So now it is not less than 10% of shares or voting rights or right to distributable dividends in any financial year is is a beneficial owner.
Okay, so Kuldeep, what you mentioned, first of all, it's not 25%, it's 10%. The rules have been completely amended now, and we have to learn what is given in the current rules, that is 10%. Secondly, Bacha, this was significant beneficial owner. My question is, what do you understand by the term beneficial owner? That is absolutely correct what Kuldeep has said. If you're holding 10% of the shareholding or 10% of the voting or 10% of the dividend or significant things, then absolutely correct. Then you're an important beneficial owner. But what do you understand? Yes, Indrani V, where the beneficial has the interest related to rights of the shares. Are you understanding, Kuldeep? This is what you have to mention. Remember, rights related to the voting rights, rights related to the dividend, all these points are important if you want to have a beneficial interest in the company. Very good, Anubhav Malik. Those who are holding beneficial interests, the rights regarding dividend and voting rights, absolutely correct. Jaya Manocha, right in dividend, very good. So if I am a registered owner, Mr. P and Mr. Q is the beneficial owner. Which form is required to be submitted by the registered owner? Which form is required to be submitted by the registered owner? MGT 4, very good. And the beneficial owner will submit MGT 5. And company shall submit the further form. Any changes will also be in MGT 4 and 5. Company will have to submit MGT 6 to ROC telling about the beneficial owner. Both the things have to be done within 30 days. The declaration also has to be made in 30 days and company will go and file with the ROC in next 30 days. Remembered, everyone? Very good, very good. Shamli, Chavan, all the answers are correct. So after that, there was a penalty, which I know that you all remember. Then significant beneficial owner, we have already discussed the definition. Kuldeep Nagar has stated out the definition beautifully. That's correct. But what is the form to be submitted by the significant beneficial owner? Anyone can raise their hands and tell me the entire Ben forms. Who is going to raise their hands and tell me about Ben 1 and Ben 2? Linga R, absolutely correct for the previous one. Yes, Mr. Prince. Who is going to answer me for Ben forms? Prajapati. Prajapati, Ben 1 form. Who is going to submit Ben 1 form? Deepika says declaration has to be given in Ben 1. Ben 4, Kuldeep Nagar. For what we use Ben 4? If no declaration has been given, then Ben 4 will be sent to the person whom we think that he is the significant beneficial owner. And then if there is no reply, tribunal, yes, very good, Prerna has raised. Yes, Prerna.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ben 1 is filed by the declaration given by the significant beneficiary owner,
Very good.
and
Yes.
Ben 2 is company files declaration with ROC.
Okay. After that, what happens? Remember about Ben 4?
If the declaration is not given by the significant beneficiary owner, then under Ben 4, company sends notice to the notice to significant beneficiary owner. It can be for who has the knowledge to be the significant beneficiary owner,
Or who
or
has
who are
SBO for last 3
SBO for last 3 years,
Very good.
and SBO of the company.
Okay. All right, very well answered by Prerna. Anybody else would like to share further about the tribunal's order? So the company will say, ask the tribunal. If there is no reply, then company will ask the tribunal to pass the order, either restricting the rights of the beneficial owner or suspending his right. If once the order has been passed by the tribunal, then there is a 1-year time period which is given to the significant beneficial owner. He can either file an appeal in that 1-year period. Otherwise, after 1 year, the shares go to the IEPF fund, Investor Education and Protection Fund. The shares will go in that particular fund. Clear? Everybody on the portal also. Kervi Gupta, Santosh, Aditi Gupta, very good. Hemant. All right. After that, we did section 91, section 92, annual return. So I told you in the next class, I'm going to ask you the contents of the annual return. So what are the first 4 contents of the annual return? Who remembers? What are the first 4 contents related to the office, business activities, related to holding subsidiary, shares, debentures, indebtedness, and the members of shareholders and debenture holders. So all the first point are related closely to the office, equity, and debenture holders. Then the next point is related to promoters, directors, KMPs. After that, the point is related with meetings, then remuneration, then penalties, and any certification of compliance. FII, foreign institutional investors, shares held, and any other matters. It's important you learn all these points related to the annual return, because if straightforward question comes, then it is a cherry on the cake to answer about the annual returns. Okay, very good, Mr. Chavan and Shamli. All the answers were correct. Absolutely correct. They become Prajapati, everybody. Yes, Ben 3 is for inspection during business hours can be done for maximum 2 hours. Very good. Aditi Gupta, good. BO has dividend and voting rights. That's absolutely correct. So what is the time period for filing the annual return with the ROC? By when the annual return should be filed? What is the time period? What is the time period by when the annual return should be filed? 60 days of what? Very good, Prince. 60 days. What 60 days? Within 60 days of what? Of holding the AGM, or if AGM is not held, then 60 days from the date on which the AGM was supposed to be held, specifying the reasons along with that. Very, very important question. MCQ based questions can come related to these kind of things. All right. So what is the form that is to be used for annual return filed by a small company? What is the form to be used? MGT 7A. Excellent. And any other company? MGT 7. OPC and small company में MGT 7A है. Other than that, MGT 7. Who shall sign the annual return in case of an OPC? If there is OPC A, OPC Private Limited, its annual return shall be signed by whom? Do I need a CS in practice for signing its annual return? Yes or no? Yes, Prince. Do we need CS in practice? Be very careful in answering. No, ma'am. Only the CS of the company. And if there is no CS, then director of the company. Simple. But if it is MGT 7, then it has to be signed either by the CS. If there is no CS, then CS in practice will sign. Remember, everyone on the same page? Very good. Excellent. What is MGT 8? Anybody would like to raise their hands and tell me something about MGT 8? What certificate is required in MGT 8? What kind of certification? You can raise your hands and answer me about MGT 8. Let's try to make it more interactive and interesting for all of you so that I can hear also what you're understanding and not just copy pasting from the study material and writing it down over here. Huh? Yes, Mr. Chavan, what is MGT 8? Very good, Adil Khan. Compliance required. What kind of compliance? Signatures. Yes, Linga. CS in practice will give a sign it only in case of the company having paid up share capital of 10 crore or more or turnover of 50 crore or more. They have to get a certificate from CS in practice stating that the annual return discloses all the material facts correctly and adequate. And do we need to publish it on the website? Yes, the copy of annual return will go on the website and the link has to be provided in the booth report. What is the penalty for the company secretary in practice who does not comply with provisions of section 92? Is it 5 lakhs, 6 lakhs, 2 lakhs? Yes, Mr. Praveen J. Good to see your hand raised.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening.
Ma'am, I recently registered for intermediate May 2026 exam.
Sorry?
But I recently registered for May 2026.
Your voice is not audible.
Wait a minute.
Okay,
ma'am?
Yes, now you're on.
Ma'am, I recently registered for May 2026 exam for intermediate direct entry student. So I can't get any WhatsApp link. So may I get it?
Okay. We will ask the technical team. They will share it in the chat box and you can just join it from there. All right. All right. So 2 lakh is the correct penalty. Absolutely correct. Praveen, you can put your hand down. Okay. Yes, Linga are absolutely correct. Everybody is clear now. Then we did section 94. What was section 94? What is the place of keeping and inspecting the registers? I think from here we have to start further. The registers, all these registers, MGT 1, 2, 3, BEN 3, whatever forms we have read, they all are to be kept at the registered office of the company, provided the registers of copies can be kept at any other place if more than 1/10 of the number of members are residing and it is approved by a special resolution. Okay, so SR is important and 1/10 of the members should be residing. Then only we can keep it outside the RO. Otherwise, they have to be kept at the RO. Now, section 94 typically talks about the inspection and for the period for which these registers have to be kept. So once these registers are closed, they should be kept open for inspection by any member or debenture holders during the business hours. without any payment of fees. So any time during the business hours you can do. For Ben form, we were specifying specific 2 hours time period. Similarly, reasonable time of not less than 2 hours on any working day has to be assigned. So on any working day, you can go and check out the registers. But who is going to assign the time period? Every company has the right to assign specific 2 hours according to their working culture. So the particulars of the register or index or return of the member shall not be made available for inspection under subsection 2 or subsection 3 of 94, namely the address or registered address, email IDs, unique identification number, and PAN number. He says if you're asking for such kind of extracts which are related to the personal details of the members or the SIN number of the body corporate, these details cannot be provided. Otherwise, they can take the extracts other than that without any payment of fees, and the payment require the copy of registers or return on the payment of fees not exceeding ₹10 per page. So even if any fees has to be charged, it cannot be more than ₹10. But what is important, since the entries are also made in 7 days, the copies should also be given within 7 days of the deposit of the fees. So 7 days को link कर लेना. 7 days में entries होनी है, and if any member or debenture holder is asking for the copies of the register or extracts, then within 7 days you have to give the copy. Now this is very, very important. The period for which these registers have to be maintained. Section 88. What was Section 88? Register of equity shareholders, preference shareholders, debenture holders, foreign registers. They shall be preserved permanently under the custody of CS of the company or any other person. So once Mr. A was a shareholder of a company and his name was there in the register of members, that name shall be maintained permanently. Even if you're no longer a member, the register of members have to be preserved permanently. Under whose custody? CS or any other person authorized. For the register of debenture holders and other securities. So this is specifically for MGT1. यहाँ पे लिख लेना. This is specifically for MGT1. For MGT2, debenture holders and other security holders, they shall be preserved for 8 years from the date of redemption of debentures or as the case may be, and will be kept under the custody of CS. So if the preference shareholders have been redeemed, do I need to dispose of their register? No, ma'am. Preference shareholders, equity shareholders shall be maintained permanently. If there are debenture shareholders and they were redeemed in 2019, then from 2019 up till their 8 years shall be maintained, and after that it can be disposed. Copies of the annual returns and all the certificates attached shall also be preserved for 8 years from the date of filing with the ROC. So annual return कितने time के लिए preserve करनी है? 8 years from the date of filing it with the ROC. So if the AGM of the company was held on 31st October 2024, by when the annual return should have been filed with the ROC? By when the annual return should have been filed with the ROC? $60 days. So 30th November, 30th December. By 30th December, everybody is clear. 2024. Now from 30th December 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 30. So 30th December 32, the annual return copies have to be preserved. Means they have to be kept for 8 years from this date. Not from this date. From the date it has been filed with the ROC. Everybody is clear about that? All right. The foreign registers shall also be preserved permanently unless it is discontinued or transferred to any other foreign register. Of debenture holders, again foreign register of members है, तो permanently maintain करने हैं. Foreign registers of debenture holders है, तो 8 years के. They shall be kept under the custody of CS or any other person authorized by them. Now, if any inspection is made or anybody has asked for any extracts from the register, If any refusal is made by any officer, he will be liable to a penalty of 1,000, maximum of 1 lakh rupees for during the period for which the default continues. Also, children, CG can direct an immediate inspection of the documents and will ask the people to give them the extracts by any person required. So here, central government is also playing a very important role. Why? Because it's a very important document of the company. All the registers that you're maintaining, the details of the members, debenture holders, that's why they are maintaining the details permanently. They're preserving the members. For debenture holders, they're preserving for 8 years. Annual return also they're preserving for 8 years. So if any member on inspection has asked for any of the details, it is the duty of the company to show the details. Otherwise, maximum 1 lakh rupees fine will be charged. And even the central government can intervene and pass the orders, asking them to, directing them to show and give the copies as demanded by the people. All right. So if the MCQ comes to you that can the central government intervene and can they ask for these copies, ask the people or the members to give the copies? So you will say, yes, central government also has the power to direct and ask the company to give the copies of the registers to the members. Is that clear? Let's read section 94 from the module also once so that we have not missed out any point. So place of keeping the registers is RO office. If outside RO, SR will be passed 1/10 of the members. ये सबको याद हो चुका है. Section 93 जो ढूंढ रहे हैं, please mention section 93 has been omitted by the companies. And any other person more than 1/10 and SR has to be passed. Inspection can be done. इस पे अब हमने क्या-क्या underline करना है? Register and उनकी index की भी inspection हो सकती है. Except when they are closed and the copies of the returns will be open for. So once you close the register, 8 years have expired, then it is not required to be inspected. Okay, if they are except when they are, and copies of all the returns shall be kept open for inspection during the business hours on the payment of fees. And first, you will remember over here that it is during the business hours without any payment of fees. Reasonable time on any working day, and that reasonable time is not more than 2 hours. Not more than 2 hours time period can be given. And if you have asked for any payment of without payment of fees, and if it is specified in the articles, then 50 rupees fees can be charged. Inspection की fees है. Copy of extracts लेने की 10 रुपए की fees है. 10 rupees is the fees for asking for the copies. Okay, and यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है not less than 2 hours. बस जितना मैंने सर्कल करा है उतना ही आपने हाइलाइटर से you have to mark. No need to need the unnecessary. यहाँ जाते हैं एक्सट्रैक्ट्स, इसको हाइलाइटर से कर दो. एक्सट्रैक्ट्स कौन कौन मांग सकता है? कोई भी डिबेंचर होल्डर बेनिफिशियल ओनर एक्सट्रैक्ट्स मांग सकता है विदाउट एनी पेमेंट ऑफ फीस. एंड इफ यू वांट टू चार्ज द फीस 10 रुपीज से ज्यादा नहीं होना. इन 7 days में आपने ये दे. Particulars of the return shall not be available for inspection or taking the extract, provided the particulars of you cannot take the extract from the things mentioned under subsection 2. I'll show you subsection 2 over here. All these things which have been kept open for inspection, I told you, they're specifically about their address shall not be made available. The address, registered address, email ID, unique identification number, and PAN number. These things cannot be made available to the members. Okay. Again, preservation, members registers permanently, debenture holders 8 years, copies of extract, annual return 8 years, foreign register members permanently, debenture holders 8 years. Penalty maximum 1,000 to 1 lakh, and central government also has the power. Now the CG power has been delegated to the regional director. Do you know why it has been delegated to the regional director? Because government has a lot of other work also. So they have decided how can government go and check out every time for the registers are being maintained or not. So any problem is occurring, they have delegated this power. They have allotted different regional directors of different states and areas. So now they will take care of these kind of provisions. And what is section 95? Section 95 simply tells you that all these registers, copies of annual return is prima facie evidence of any matter which has been inserted. So once you have made the record in the register of members, it is clear that If Harleen's name is appearing in the register of members of Reliance, that means Harleen is the member of Reliance. If Karan's name is appearing as a debenture holder, Karan is the debenture holder of Reliance. Once your name annual return has been filed, it's a prima facie evidence. एक बारी जब नाम आ गया उसमें annual return filed होगी, so वो prima facie evidence है, means it is clear that the documents have been filed with the ROC and everything is documented nicely. Is that clear to everyone? So we have completed till section 95. Further, we will be starting with section 96. That is annual general meeting. Now, how the study has given? Study talks about the topics related to the prerequisites of a meeting. Now, these are the things which are going to do up in these 3 sessions. That is today and the next 2 sessions in the next week. We'll be covering each and every topic related to this. So first of all, it says, before we go ahead to the topic of meetings, it is important to understand the procedure for conducting the meeting, how the meetings are actually called upon. So the first step is that we need to send a notice for the meeting under section 101. Now, children, this chapter becomes very easy to learn when you're doing it along with the sections. I understand sections do sound too much of the sections to learn, too many of the forms. But again, I keep telling you, बार बार पढ़ने से, बार बार करने से, when you keep on repeating the topics, you keep on repeating the sections, you try to learn. Here, the sections are not very important, but here, like section 100, 101, explanatory statement, I would appreciate if you can learn these important sections. All right. So there are 2 steps which happen before the meeting. What are those 2 steps? Now, let's go back to our school days or college days. And you remember that if any parent-teacher meeting is to be held or any event is being organized in a school, then on the notice board, generally a notice is published. And you yourself in your class 10th board exams, you used to get in English, write a notice for announcing something, remember? So you have prepared notices yourself also. So what is the meaning of notice? Notice is basically an announcement of something. So when you used to go and read the school notice board, you come to know that so much of the things advertised have been held over here. So for any meeting to be called, you have to announce the meeting. You have to send a notice. So that is the general meaning of the word notice. And the explanatory statement along with the notice means giving all the details about what is going to happen in the meeting, how many members are going to come, whatever details, whatever we'll read in section 102. Right now, we're just understanding the meanings of these words. So this is the first step before the meeting. Then during the meeting, what will happen? A quorum has to be present. What is the meaning of quorum? So if I have invited a meeting, I said at least 5 members should be coming and attending this meeting. So this is the quorum that I have defined. Minimum number of members who shall be present for the meeting. So there is different category for public company, listed company, private company, which is we're going to learn in section 103. But what is the meaning of quorum? We have sent the announcement, please come and attend the meeting. Now we want a specific number of people who should come and attend the meeting. And once they have come, we ask the people to choose one of your members, like we have the head of the family who is going to convene a meeting in the family. Similarly, in the company, we are going to ask any head, that is, he will be called the chairman. A chairman will be appointed who will be heading the meetings, who will be taking the decisions for the meeting. Otherwise, everybody will start taking the decisions. So when we have a classroom, we always appoint a class leader who will be taking initiatives. We have a class teacher for every class. Otherwise, we have so many teachers in the school. So everybody cannot go and teach. We have a proper timetable. We have a class teacher for every school, every class, so that they can take the initiatives. Similarly, we have a chairman for the meetings. Now, what is the meaning of proxies? Generally in colleges, not in schools, we tell each other, yaar, aaj meri proxy lagwa dena. I am not going to attend the class. Why don't you say present in my name? So this is the meaning of proxy. When you're actually not present, but you're asking someone else to attend the meeting on your behalf. So on a funny part, literal meaning of proxy is attendance किसी और से लगवाना, अपनी attendance किसी और को कहना, present बोल देना, मेरी भी attendance लग जाएगी. So now one word proxy. So in the meeting, proxy again has the same meaning. You're substituting yourself with somebody else. Somebody else will be coming and attending your meeting. We understand about them in section 105. Then we learn about voting, how the voting is going to be conducted in this chapter. So when I have asked everyone to come for the meeting, notice was sent, quorum is present, chairman has been chosen, proxies have also come. Now we vote for the resolutions. Voting का मतलब क्या होता है? मैंने कहा कि मुझे किसी को क्लास लीडर बनाना, तो 5 students raised hand for Mr. E and 3 students raised hand for Mr. B. So E will be chosen as the class leader because 5 people have voted in favor of it. So that is the voting system. But section 106 and 110, huge number of things we have in this chapter, which will explain you about each and every detail about how the voting is casted by show of hands, by electronic methods, by postal ballots. We will do each and every line from the study material as well as from. And after that, we have the resolution. Resolution means what are the decisions which are to be taken for the meetings. Now, if I talk about this topic of prerequisites of a meeting, it's a very important topic as far as your MGT chapter is concerned. You can get a direct 7 marks question also. What are the requirements of the general, what are the requirements of the meeting, which you generally get in a BCom also. In BCom also, you must have read about these kind of things. So it is a very important kind of question, but here you don't have to write big stories and lengthy answers. You have to stick to the point. It can come in the case study form also, or it can be a direct question. And after the meeting has happened, then we preserve the minutes. That is, the summary is kept, how the meeting was convened, how many people came, and what all decisions were taken. That is about the minutes of. So I have briefly explained you about what we are going to do in the further chapter. But since we have spoken about the word meeting, in today's class, we will be covering section 96 to section 100. That is annual general meeting and extraordinary general. And after completing section 100, we will come back here and we will start from 101 to 120. है ना, सीक्वेंस में चलना चाहिए. 94, 95 हम निकल गया, तो 95 के बाद क्या आता है? 96. Clear? So let's start. So 95 we have already done. Let's start with section number 96. Annual general meeting. What is the meaning of annual general meeting? We have been hearing this word since so many days, and today the day has come when we will be understanding कि ये होता क्या है AG. Annual general meeting means साल में एक बार होने वाला. Annual function होता था स्कूल में, होता था आपके स्कूल में, होता था annual sports day? बताओ मुझे. Yes or no? How many of you have memories fresh in your mind? Annual functions. How many of you used to participate? Yes? No, Deepika wants to say something. Yes, Deepika? Oh, you're raising your hand that yes, ma'am, we used to participate. That's great. Very nice, very nice. So, but it only used to happen once in a year because it's an annual event. Similarly, annual general meeting is an annual event which is happening once in a year, in which the meeting will take place between the shareholders. Okay. Now, everybody has to be 100% attentive because there are many provisions which we are going to learn in a fun way so that we learn also and we get to understand it. Harsh Mishra, I hope now you're understanding each and everything. So we wanted to reach at this topic. That's why we were going a little fast. And now we'll be going very slow so that you understand each and everything. Okay, Ashilesha, not a problem. All your answers are correct. Yes, Madhura, we are doing annual general meeting. I hope, Praveen, now you have got the WhatsApp link. Swastik Gupta, kindly tell the team to send the link again. They have already sent you the link again, beta. Swastik, I hope you can see the link now. All right. Manisha R, Mustafa, all of your answers are correct. Aditya, Prerna, everybody's. Now, every company, whether it's a public or a private company, except the OPC, ओपीसी की बात नहीं कर रहा, ओपीसी की बात नहीं कर रहा है, मींस ओपीसी के अलावा कोई भी पब्लिक एंड प्राइवेट कंपनी है, it will hold the annual general meeting every year, and the gap between two AGMs shall not be more than 15 months. So what is the maximum gap that you can have between two AGMs? So AGM is to be held every year, first of all, once in a year. So if I have held an AGM on 30th September 2024, maximum by what date the second AGM should be held? Maximum by what date the second AGM should be held? Quickly, simple mathematics, not more than 15 months gap. 31st December 2025. Excellent. Everybody. So first point is the gap between two AGMs should not be more than 15 months. After 6 months. Aditya, why did you say after 6 months? शामली 31st December 25 लिखा करो बेटा, 24 पे बात करिए तो 25 लिखो, तभी not more than 15 months होंगे ना. Again, Mustafa, you're also not writing the year. Very good, Savia Khan. If you'll not write the year, how will I come to know which year are you talking? 24 का भी तो हो सकता है ना. Manisha are correct. Holding of the annual general meeting. Now, this first point is clear. Second, annual general meeting of the company should be held within 9 months of the first financial year. अब ये first annual general meeting की बात. I incorporated my company on 1st January 2023. When is my financial year going to end? What is the meaning of financial year? 1st April to 31st March? Absolutely correct. When is my financial year going to end? If I have opened the company on 1st January 2023. When is my financial year going to end? 31st March 2023. Everybody agrees. What are the 9 months from this first financial year? What are the 9 months? 31st December 2023. So my first annual general meeting should be held within 9 months from the close of the first financial year. Very important. Not 9 months from the date of opening. First financial year close कब हो रहा है मेरा? अब अगर यही मैंने 1 अक्टूबर 23 को कंपनी इनकॉर्पोरेट करी, मेरा फाइनेंशियल ईयर कब क्लोज हो रहा है? If I have incorporated a company on 1st October 2023, then it is 31st March 2024, and the first AGM can held any time till 31st December 2024. यहां से मत काउंट करने लग जाना 9 months अक्टूबर से, यहां से काउंट करने लग फ्रॉम द क्लोज ऑफ द फाइनेंशियल. ठीक है, everybody is clear? Yes, correct answers. So if my AGM was held on 1st November 2024, is it correct? Yes or no? For the company incorporated, it's absolutely correct, ma'am, because first AGM can be held within 9 months from the close of the first financial year. ठीक है बेटा. अब subsequent annual general meeting कब होनी चाहिए? Within 6 months from the close of the financial year. But after this, so my next financial year is closing on 31st March 2025. ठीक है, अब मेरी नेक्स्ट मीटिंग कब होनी चाहिए? अभी भी मैं इस बार भी मैं 1st November 2025 को कर दूं मीटिंग. सब्सिक्वेंट मीटिंग मींस बाद की, तो सेकेंड एनुअल जनरल मीटिंग भी 1st November 2025 को कर दूं कि नहीं करूं? जल्दी बताओ. नो मैम, व्हाई नो? Within 6 months of the close of means 30th September 2025 तक मेरी सेकेंड एनुअल जनरल मीटिंग हो जानी चाहिए. समझ गए? It is not necessary for the company to hold AGM in the year of incorporation. ये क्यों कह रहा है ये? क्यों कह रहा है कि नेसेसरी नहीं है ईयर ऑफ इनकॉर्पोरेशन में? मैम अभी तो हमने देखा ईयर ऑफ इनकॉर्पोरेशन 1 अक्टूबर 23 था, हमने तो उसमें मीटिंग करी ही नहीं, क्योंकि ही इज टेलिंग यू दैट विद इन 9 months फ्रॉम द क्लोज ऑफ फर्स्ट फाइनेंशियल ईयर यू कैन डू द मीटिंग. That's why it is not necessary to hold the AGM in the year of incorporation. Easy कर देते हैं. First one, year of incorporation. 1st October 22. Do I need to hold the meeting till 31st March 22? Is it compulsory? No, ma'am. I can hold my first AGM maximum by 31st March 23. I need to hold my first AGM maximum by which date? 31st December 23. Everybody agrees to this thing? Now, subsequent AGM. Subsequent means बाद में, इसके बाद कब होगी? After this. So, after this, 31st March, 6 months from 31st March 2024, that is 30th September 20. No AGM in year of incorporation. Is it okay? Yes, ma'am. It is. It's not a problem. ठीक है बेटा. Everybody clear upon this? Any doubts still here? Because these dates are very, very important. घुमा फिरा कर क्वेश्चन आता है, इसलिए ध्यान से समझ लेना. Now there was a company ABC Limited and it failed to conduct its annual general meeting on 30th September 2024. And it went to the registrar and said, we are so sorry, we could not do it. Can you please extend the time period? Can the registrar extend the validity? It says if there is any special reason, then he can extend the annual general meeting, but this extension shall not be more than 3 months. That means maximum हो जाएगा 31st December 2024 तक आप फाइल कर दो. इससे ज्यादा हम आपको extension नहीं देंगे. इससे ज्यादा we cannot give you the extension. So examiner will ask you, by how many months the annual general meeting can be extended if not filed within the 6 months of the close of financial year? Then, ma'am, it can be extended maximum for the period of 3 months, not more than that. Okay? No Anubhav, 3 months means 3 months. Why will you write 90 days? Why are you not including those 31st October का 1 day? है ना? 3 months लिखा है तो 3 months. Clear? Everybody? Okay. Just take 1 minute and read this. Everybody read that? Clear? Let's move ahead. Annual general meeting का timing क्या हो? It should always be called during business hours, that is 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. But it should not be on a national holiday. So what are the national holidays? In India, we have 3 national holidays: 15th August, 26th January, and 2nd October. So can I call my AGM on 2nd October? No, ma'am. Can I call on 26 January? No, ma'am. Can I call on 15 August? No, ma'am. But can I call my annual general meeting on Sundays? Yes or no, ma'am? Can I call my annual general meeting on Sunday? Yes. Why? हॉलीडे नहीं होता उस दिन. लॉ में क्या लिखा है? नेशनल हॉलीडे नहीं होना चाहिए. हॉलीडे है तो कोई बात नहीं, वी आर वर्किंग. Even on Sundays, our company is open. Please come for the AGM. It's a relaxing day. We will have the AGM. We'll eat the chai pakoras and we are going to conduct the AGM. Shamli says no, ma'am. No, beta, it's yes, ma'am. We can do the. Ashilesha also says no, ma'am. Why, beta? You'll not work on Sunday. If your company is asking you to come and work on Sunday, once you become chartered accountant, there is no Sunday Monday. So the organizations are going to ask you to come and work and file the returns or whatever that you're doing any day. Ria, you will count 6 months from the close of financial year, beta. So that's why March ended, May, June, July, August, September. Okay. Anubhav, yes, it's not fair, but you'll have to work. That's what the chartered accountancy calls for, right? It's a profile where you have undergone so much of trainings and everything. No, Diwali and Eid days are not Mustafa national holidays. So yes, company can call AGM on Diwali also. So there is no prohibition on that. Yes, Riya, 9 months is also from the close of first financial year, beta. ठीक हो गया? Timing, everybody's clear on the timing of AGM. What is the place for holding AGM? Should I call the AGM at my house? Says no, at the registered office of the company or at any place or village where the RO is situated. या तो RO में ही कर लो या किसी कैफेटेरिया में कर लो या किसी और जगह में कर लो, बट उसी टाउन विलेज में करो जहाँ पे कंपनी का RO situated. Annual general meeting of unlisted company may be held at any place if consent is given in writing or by electronic mode by all the members in it. कहते हैं अनलिस्टेड कंपनी है तो कहीं पे भी एजीएम कर लो, प्रोवाइडेड राइटिंग में कंसेंट आ गया. इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मोड में व्हाट्सएप में आ गया चलेगा. हाँ जी मैम, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मोड लिखा है, जीमेल में ले लो, व्हाट्सएप ले लो, फेसबुक मैसेंजर पे ले लो, कहीं भी ले लो, रिटन कंसेंट होना चाहिए. हाँ जी, वी एग्री, यू कैन डू द मीटिंग हियर. यस, यू कैन डू द मीटिंग एनीवेज. इफ यूर अ गवर्नमेंट कंपनी, then AGM will be held either at the RO of the company or any place where the RO is situated or such other place where CG approves. So government company है तो CG का हक बनता है ना. मोदी जी बोलेंगे यहाँ कर लो मीटिंग, गवर्नमेंट कंपनी है तो कर लो वहां पे. Aditya is asking, ma'am, when do they give holiday then? To whom are you asking for the holiday? To a chartered accountant, Aditya? So it depends upon the organization where you work. Okay? You work with the big 4 firms and you'll come to know how many holidays you have. All right? So don't worry about holidays. You are doing inter right now. Worry about your chapters. Yes, it's always late evening meetings, Kuldeep. Absolutely. It depends how you want to plan. There is no prohibition provided it is within the official working hours. So annual general meeting of government company, central government can also approve. Unlisted company, writing में consent आना है. Any other company, RO or any other place where the RO is situated. Clear, everyone? Now the timing of the meeting, interesting part is the meeting should start within the official timing. Prakhar, don't worry. It should start when the official time is there, but there is no time of ending the meeting. ऐसा तो नहीं ना बोला उसने कि अगर आपने 9 AM शुरू करा है तो 6 PM तक खत्म होनी ही चाहिए. बेटा 9 to 6 के PM के बीच में आप बिजनेस आवर्स में मीटिंग स्टार्ट कर लो, बट समटाइम्स देयर आर एजेंडाज व्हिच आर गोइंग ऑन. सो इवन इफ द मीटिंग इज एंडिंग एट 11 PM, देयर वोंट बी एनी प्रॉब्लम. Yes, Anubhav, then also state government will decide. Prakhar, that was just on a lighter path. Okay, you don't have to be scared. You have to be strong to study well and achieve your targets. Okay. All right. So let's move ahead. Okay, let me just cover the illustrations from the. Yes, अनुभव अगर CGBSG है तो they will. It is a government company. Government क्या होती है? State, central दोनों होती है. Government company की definition बताओ. Partly by central, partly by state दोनों हो सकते हैं ना बेटा? So why you worried? Any kind of curve. Let me take you section 96 over here. Annual general meeting, page number 7.83, AGM. फटाफट से देख लो पॉइंट. मोर देन 15 months नहीं होना चाहिए गैप. Annual general meeting, in the notices calling will specify when the meeting is happening. Once in a year, 9 months first AGM, 6 months subsequent AGM. Gap should not exceed 15. Let's read. Validity period extension 3 months is other name. Abhi's Process Private Limited closed its financial year on 31st March 2024. When should be the annual general meeting held? Tell me. फटाफट से answer. 30th September 2024. Can I give the extension? Tell what date the extension can be given. If the extension is granted, then it will be 31st December 2024. 31st December 2024. Yes, Mustafa, it can go for next year. They will decide about how to continue about the meetings. It can happen, but there is no doubt that. Very good, Prakhar, Mustafa, Ashilesha. Everybody has given the correct answer. Special reasons, yes, it has to be given. Special reasons. Next question. Abhirush Mechanics Limited was incorporated on 12th July 2024. When should the company hold its first annual general meeting? It says 31st July, 12th July 2024. तो इसका year end कब होगा बेटा? 31st March 2025. 9 months from 31st March is 31st December 2025. So the first AGM should be held maximum by 31st December 20. When will the second AGM held of this company? ये आपने मुझे chat box में बताया. When should be the second AGM held for this company? In the chat box. Jaya Manocha correct. Julie Kumari गलत. अनुभव गलत. 30th September. Prakhar right. Ashilesha right. Prince 25 लिखा है 26 होना चाहिए. अनुभव now right. Shamni right. Julie Kumari right. Harsh Mishra good. Aditya, somebody wrote June, not June. 30th September 2026 is the correct answer. ठीक है, interesting है, समझ आ रहा है. Good. Let's take a small break here and फिर आगे बढ़ते. So we are taking a break here. Okay, Yuvam Paul wants to ask something. Yes, Yuvam, first you ask, then we.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, I have a doubt. If a company is incorporated on 2nd of Feb 2023, incorporated on 2nd Feb 2023, then it will its financial year will end after on 31st March 2024, right?
Why? 2nd Feb 23, you said.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the meaning of financial year? Tell me that.
Financial year means period that starts from 1st April to 31st March of the next year.
So 31st March is not coming for 23?
Ma'am, but I read somewhere that if a company is incorporated after 1st January, then its financial year will end
Absolutely
after
correct.
that next year.
You have not read somewhere, you have read it in the definition of financial year. That's why what I have taught you right now, I have taken the dates of October. This is the second thing which will be coming up if the company is incorporated on or after 1st Jan. Okay?
Yes, then ma'am, its AGM, when will its AGM be held? Within 9 months from that?
December 2024 से पहले.
Pehle.
Yes, 9 months from the close of financial year. So when is the financial year going to end for this one? For the February one?
Or it will end on 31st March 2024, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
because it is incorporated on or after 1st January. I was going to take up this question after the break, but good you have asked.
Okay.
So again, I'll ask once, okay?
Thank you.
All right. All right. Let's take a break. So let's move ahead with the chapter. So I hope you all have read about the dates very carefully as well as the illustrations. Now I'm going to ask you very important questions. Okay, everybody's ready for the question. So the first question is, ABC Limited wants to hold his AGM at 11 p.m. on Sunday. Is it okay? Yes or no? Is it okay? Shilisha says yes. कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. Prakhar says no. For reason? Why no? Riya, why no? Reason Sunday है इसलिए. Yes, 11 p.m. ना किसी भी तो 9 to 6 p.m. की बात हुई थी ना. So 11 p.m. Not good. Not allowed. All right. Next question. ABC Limited incorporated on 2nd April 24. When should be latest by when the first AGM should be held? ABC Limited incorporated on 2nd April 2024. Latest by what date the first AGM should be held? Everybody लॉक कर लिया जाए 31 दिसंबर. सितंबर क्यों बोल रहे हो बेटा शामली? 31 दिसंबर 2025. Everybody. ABC Limited incorporated on 5th January 2024. By when the latest first AGM should be held? A company incorporated on or after 1st January, the year end will be, no other wrong, year end will be 31st March of the following year. So the year end will be 31st March 2025. So the first AGM should be held latest by 31st December 25. Everybody is clear about this. Is everyone clear about this? Yes. Yuvam, are you clear about this? Prerna, good, excellent. Now my second question is, when should the subsequent AGM held in this case? Very good. By 30th September 2026. But can I hold the AGM over here on 1st October 2024? Can I hold? No. Why? Can I hold the meeting on 1st October 2025? No, Ashilesha, it says it is not compulsory to hold meeting on the year of incorporation, but you can hold. Yes, we are correct. So latest by 31st December 2025 does not mean that you cannot hold it before that. So if I'm holding on October, then also it's fine. Yes, 9 months from the close of financial year, latest by that should be held. Okay, no one is stopping me from holding. Now, why I have chosen this date, just to explain you that at least on this 1st October 25, if I'm holding, and the next one is on 30th September, make sure that here the gap should not be more than 15 months. The first AGM and the next AGM, the gap should not be more than 15 months. If I have taken the extension over here, and then it becomes 31st December 2026, and the first meeting was on 1st January, then it might be problematic if it is exceeding 15 months. But as of now, also it is not exceeding 15 months, then also it's okay. तो ये सारी चीजें आपको डेट्स में याद रखनी पड़ेंगी, देखना पड़ेगा. Practical application is interesting also, as well as you have to learn. Okay, Mustafa says if the date given first of out of financial year, then count 9 months from there, and second after financial year 6 months, and gap between. Yes, absolutely correct, Mustafa. This is what we exactly did in the practical examples. Okay. Manisha R, all the answers are correct. Savia Khan, good. Jaya Manocha, good. Harsh Mishra, correct. Linga R, Indrani B, friends, everybody's writing the correct answers. Everybody's clear about this now? I hope no doubts. Okay, Yugam Paul, I've seen your answer also. That's correct. Aditi Gupta. मिथुन मैम जूम पर ज्वाइन नहीं हो रहा, ऑटोमेटिकली डिस्कनेक्ट हो रहा है. कोई बात नहीं मिथुन, आप पोर्टल पे भी लिख सकते हो अपनी क्वेरीज. लेट मी सी द आंसर्स ऑन द पोर्टल आल्सो. अमित राजन. ओके. Ma'am, I just wanted to use your notes. Yes, Karavi Gupta, that is absolutely sufficient, but we just make sure that nothing is left out from the study material. Okay? All right. So if you're finding it precise, that's great. Go ahead with that. Okay? Amit Biswas, good answers. Okay, Mithun, not a problem. Kiran Mishra, I'm getting your answers. Amit Ranjan, your answers are also coming. Aditi Gupta, Santosh Dash, everybody. All the students on the portal also. कोई बात नहीं मिथुन, you can write down the portal if you have any doubts. Julie Kumari, Aishwarya, absolutely correct everyone. Now let's move ahead. Power of the tribunal to call the AGM. Now section 97 and 98 are very, very interesting. It says if company fails to call AGM, हमने इतनी सारी dates कर ली, सब कुछ समझ लिया, extension भी मिल गई 9 months की. Still, yes, Mustafa, you can take from both the places. It's absolutely fine. The content is same because we cannot change the law, but sometimes there are important illustrations. That's why we go through the study materials. If any default is made in calling the AGM, then the tribunal, notwithstanding anything contained in these articles or the act, कहते जो आर्टिकल एंड एक्ट्स में लिखा है वो तो फॉलो करना ही करना है. जैसे हम अभी बात कर रहे हैं कि जो स्टडी मटेरियल में लिखा है वो तो फॉलो करना ही करना है. आपको नोट्स प्रिसाइज लगता है, आप फॉलो कीजिए. But study material is the Bible for us. We cannot leave a single line from the study material. That's why I make sure to make you mark also in the study material with your highlighters, so that tomorrow when you open the book, you know from where you have to read it out. And if students, you're making your own handwritten notes, nothing best than that. It's very, very good to make your own handwritten notes so that you can flip through the pages just day before the exam. Okay. So if any default is made, so company did not conduct the AGM, then any member of the company can go and make an application to the tribunal that please tribunal, we have not made the AGM, please call our AGM. And then tribunal will direct the person and will take the necessary actions. Such direction may include that one member of the company present in person or proxy should also be constitute the meeting. इसका मतलब क्या है मैं अभी बताती हूँ. A general meeting held as per section 1 subject to any directions shall deem to be the annual general meeting of the company. पहले आपने ये 2 पॉइंट समझने हैं अच्छे से. फर्स्ट एंड सेकेंड. एबीसी कंपनी थी, आपने बोला मैम 30 सितंबर 26 तक मीटिंग हो जानी चाहिए. Company made a default, did not call the annual general meeting. One of the member made an application to the tribunal. Tribunal, look, company has not called the AGM. Please ask the company to call the AGM. So now tribunal is going to ask the company to conduct the AGM. Tribunal fixed up a date of 31st October 2026, and only one of the member, Mr. A, was present for that meeting. Only one member of the company. Or Mr. B was a proxy for Mr. A, he came. So either one member came or one proxy came, then also it will deem to be a sufficient quorum for the meeting. बोलोगे मैम quorum तो हमने अभी करा नहीं है. अभी मैंने आपको बताया था ना, minimum number of persons who shall be present means the meaning of quorum. So law says otherwise there is a condition that 5 members or 15 members, which we'll be doing in further ahead the chapter. So let's assume at least minimum 5 members were required. So only one of the member turned up. So section 97 says where tribunal has called the annual general meeting, then even if one member has come in person or he has come as a proxy, it will be consisted that the quorum has come and it shall deem to be the annual general meeting. Tribunal will either call the annual general meeting or will direct the company to the AGM. On such AGM, even if one of the members is present, it shall deem to be the annual general meeting of the company. Similarly, section 98 talks about if for any reason we have not called a meeting other than the AGM. अरे भाई अभी तो हम AGM की बात कर रहे थे, ये other than AGM क्या होता है? Other than AGM means there are 2 types of meetings. One is annual general meeting, another is extraordinary general meeting. So section 98 talks about calling of the extraordinary general meeting. Section 98 talks about calling of the extraordinary general. So if the company fails to call the AGM, then either suo motu or on the application made by any director or member of the company, he will call the meeting of the company or will give the directions to the tribunal to call the meeting. And in these directions, even if one member of the company is present, then also it will be constituting a meeting, and the meeting held shall deem to be the meeting duly called by the company. So section 97 AGM की बात करता है. सेम लॉ लिखा हुआ है सेक्शन 98 में. AGM की जगह हमने क्या वर्ड रिप्लेस कर दिया? EGM. So if company has not called the AGM, application will be made either tribunal suo motu. What is the meaning of suo motu? What is the meaning of suo motu? अपनी मर्जी से, on his own, tribunal can either call the meeting on his own. So either it is AGM if the company has not called the AGM, section 97 becomes applicable. And if the company has not called the EGM, then tribunal either can suo motu decide that this company has not called the EGM. EGM कब call होता है मैं आपको अभी कराऊंगी, that we have to do under section 100. By itself, he will either call the meeting or any director or member will make the application, then they will call the meeting. Okay, and even if one member is present, then it is considered as the meeting has been properly held. And section 99 beautifully tells you that if you have not followed section 96 or 97 or 98, then be ready for the penalty, which is maximum 1 lakh rupees penalty for the company, and any further default which continues rupees 5,000 for every day during which the default continues. So simple penalty if AGM is not conducted, if 97 has not been followed, 98 has not been followed, then you simply have to remember the penalty of 1 lakh rupees. And if any contravention continues, 5,000 for every. Is that clear? So with this, we have ended with 4 sections, that is section 96, 97, 98 and 99. Easy लग रहा है आपको अभी तक? समझ आ रहा है सबको? यहाँ पे जो छोटे छोटे क्वेश्चंस हैं ये बहुत जरूरी है ताकि आपकी डेट्स की प्रैक्टिस हो जाए, प्लस जो मैंने अभी आपको लिखवाए हैं बीच में वो भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस. ओके बेटा? Anubhav says yes ma'am, but little heavy. Don't worry Anubhav, gradually you'll get to learn all these things. Okay. Okay. So the time and place 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. not a national holiday. All these points CG can exempt the companies also from following this. Section 8 companies have been given the exemption. What are Section 8 companies, beta? Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of Section 8 companies? Quickly. Section 8 companies are the companies which are incorporated for charitable purposes, with having the object related to non-profitable. Very good. Excellent. And can the Section 8 companies give dividend to its members? Yes. Can they give the dividend to its members? No. देखो पहला पढ़ा याद है ना अब आपको, तो धीरे धीरे याद हो जाता. Okay. Yes, not for the profit. Very good. So if Section 8 company has not committed any default under 127 or Section 92, then it will be exempted from this. What happened? Where did it go? Provided the date, time, place are decided by the board of directors with regard to the direction. So Section 8 companies को ना बड़ी सारी exemptions मिलती हैं, बड़ी सारी easiness मिली हुई है because they are for non-profitable, they are doing for charitable purposes. So when day before they can decide where they want to put these. Similarly, government company को exemption है कि उनको ये बोला है कि every annual general meeting business hours में तो करनी है. So here exemption to government companies is the above mentioned exemption modification is applicable to government company if they have not defaulted under section 127 and annual return of 90. Okay. So again power of tribunal, ये सारे पॉइंट हम पढ़ चुके हैं. 96 भी हो गया, 97 भी हो गया. हम सिर्फ यहाँ पे क्वेश्चंस देखने आए थे जो कि हमें यहाँ पे मिले नहीं, तो अब हम करेंगे क्वेश्चंस. सिंस आपने बहुत ज्यादा पढ़ लिया है आज, so let me see how practically you can answer these questions. First, we will do an MCQ related to AGM. Oh, Harsh Mishra is writing, whenever we do a new chapter or forget everything related to previous chapter, even if I'm doing revision on daily basis, why ma'am? Anybody else also face this kind of problem that you keep forgetting what you have done? So children, what I have analyzed about all of you is that you're very responsive students and you have been responding very nicely to all the questions also. So that means you all are very intelligent, because when I teach you something and you answer me back, that means that shows your intelligence level. But if this kind of problem is happening, that is called how to retain the things. So for retention, you have to make a proper study timetable for yourself. The regularity does not mean that you just have to read it. Try solving the questions. Try reading out whatever things we have done in the class, whether you're able to solve the back exercises or not. So the best way to retain the information is do the chapter and do written practice of the ICAI module questions which are given at the back of the book. So if you are doing that, okay, Mustafa says no, because it's very, very easy. So I am learning everything. That's good. Anubhav says even I keep forgetting. So don't worry. So the only solution for this thing is that you keep doing writing practice. बच्चे जितना हम लिख लिख के practice करते हैं, जितना हम notes बनाते हैं ना, उतना ही हमें easy हो जाता है learn. So लिखा करो, notes बनाया करो. Plus आज मैं आपका debentures का भी test लूंगी. So it will help me to understand how much you all have learned about share capital and debentures. Okay? Is that fine? All right. Okay. So let's do this MCQ question number 3. Due to the management disputes, FWI Limited could not hold its current AGM by the latest due date. Even after the lapse of the date, it seemed impossible to convene the AGM. In such a grim situation, one option was available to go to NCLT and seek their directions. Out of the following 4 options, which one is applicable? Any member can make an application to NCLT and seek the direction. A member holding at least 1% of the paid-up share capital can make an application. Minimum 2 members holding 1% of the capital should go, or minimum 5 persons holding 1% of the paid-up share capital should make a joint application to NCLT and seek the direction. Which is the correct option? If such kind of easy MCQs start coming in your exam, everybody is going to become a chartered accountant soon. Huh? We compare the MCQs that came right now and these MCQs. Wonderful difference. Everybody has answered it correctly. A is the correct answer because ma'am ऐसा तो हमने कहीं पढ़ा ही नहीं कि 1% holding होनी चाहिए. So as per section 97, if company fails to call the AGM, tribunal will call the AGM or will direct the company. And in this AGM, if only one member is present, do we need to wait for the quorum to be complete or we can call the meeting? If only one member is present, then is it okay? Yes, we can. We need to wait. No, we don't need to wait. We can consider the meeting has been convened properly. Okay. Let me see if we can do another questions. MGT 7A we have done already. Let me find the question for you. For law, it is basically okay, Mustafa. So that's good. That's nice. If you keep revising, you'll never forget the contents. Okay, students, let's start EGM. And when I give you another break, then I will open the another questions for you. Okay, let's start for the EGM. Section 100, extraordinary general meeting. यहाँ तक सबको समझ आ गए? फटाफट से पहले मुझे बता दो एक बारी, मैं आपका yes या no पढ़ लूं. यहाँ तक till here, till section 99, 88 से 99, 10 sections. Everybody is clear? No doubts. Anybody has any doubts, you can raise your hands and ask. Easy है, understandable है. Good. Everybody has written yes, ma'am. It's clear, understood. That's great. Let's go. Now EGM. So when is the EGM required? So if I am doing anything which is outside my ordinary business, something extraordinary needs to be complied with, then EGM is called. So the board may call the EGM. So who has the power to call the extraordinary general meeting? Here, board of directors will have the power to call the extraordinary general meeting of the company, provided the EGM other than wholly owned subsidiary company incorporated outside India shall be held anywhere in India. So if you are a wholly owned subsidiary company in Singapore, then you can hold your EGM in Singapore. If you are partly owned subsidiary company in Dubai, then you cannot hold in Dubai. You should be a wholly owned subsidiary company incorporated outside India. Then you can hold the extraordinary general meeting outside India. But otherwise, it is compulsory to hold the EGM within India. Now, when will the board of directors call this EGM? Board of directors अपने आप से तो कॉल नहीं करेगा ना, कुछ तो रिक्वेस्ट आई होगी. रिक्वेजिशन मीन्स on the request received. Whose request? If a company is having share capital, then at least 1/10 of the members are holding the paid up share capital. Means at least 10% of the members who are holding the 10% of the paid up share capital held by the members. Those members, if on the date carrying their rights of voting as on the date. So if 10% of the paid up share capital holder of the members are sending a request to the board of directors, then they will call the AGM. And if the company is not having share capital, then at least 1/10 of the total voting power. Members who are having 1/10 of the total voting power can send a request for holding the AGM. Requisition will set out the matters for the consideration for which the meeting is to be called, and all the requisitionists should sign it and send it to the registered office. So, सारे requisitionists क्या करेंगे? 1/10 of the members who are holding the paid up share capital, they will come together and they will write down all these matters on which the EGM is required. They will sign it and they will send it to the RO of the company that we are sending the requisition. Now, board of directors will have to accept or reject this requisition which is received for holding the EGM. समझ आ गया? पहले बोर्ड का कॉल करेगा, EGM बाहर नहीं हो सकती, विद इन इंडिया होनी है. अगर आप होली ऑन सब्सिडरी कंपनी आउटसाइड इंडिया हो देन हो सकती है, अदरवाइज विद इन इंडिया है. एंड देन रिक्विजिशन शुड बी रिसीव्ड. Board of directors will call on the requisition if it's a company having share capital, 10% of the paid up share capital of the members, and if company is not having share capital, 10% of the total voting. And they will set out all the matters which are there to be discussed, and all the requisitions are going to sign. A board within 21 days of receiving this valid requisition proceed to call a meeting, but it should not be later than 45 days from the date of requisition. So now, if I have received the requisition on 1st October 23, then board of directors will send the notice within how many days? Within 21 days, that means by 21st October, they should start calling this meeting. But it should not be later than 45 days. Means 31st October तक 31 days हो गए, and आगे और add कर लो 14 days. 14th November 23 तक ये meeting हो जानी चाहिए. Means within 45 days, this meeting should be convened. Is this right? 1st October, 31st October, 31 days. And then 14 more days, 45 हो गया ना बेटा? 14th November तक ये meeting हो जानी चाहिए. But 21 days के अंदर अंदर action लेगा board of directors, and within 45 days of this requisition, the meeting should be conducted. It cannot go beyond 45 days. But what if board did not call the meeting? So till 14th November, he had the time to call the meeting, but board failed to call the meeting. Then requisitionists themselves, within a period of 3 months from the date of requisition, they will call the meeting. Who is going to tell me what will be the correct date? What will be the correct date? By when can they call the meeting? Three months from the date of requisition. What is that date? Give me the date. Requisition कब आई थी? 1st October. 3 months count करो बच्चा वहां से. Nobody has sent the correct answer till now. First December, फिर से 23, 24 कुछ नहीं लिखा. 1st January, चलो 30 days, 3 months लेना ना आपने. 1st October, November, December. 31st December 25 तक they can call them. So Yuvam, it's okay if it's 1st Jan also 31st December. So it says 3 months from the date of the requisition. So 3 months are completed even on 1st January. Once the 3 months have been completed, you can call the meeting within a period of 3 months. Within a period of 3 months from the date of requisition, they can call the meeting themselves. They cannot call beyond this time period. Within a period of 3 months from the date of requisition, they can themselves call the meeting. So meeting by requisitions will be called and held in the same manner as if it is a meeting called by the Board of Directors. Who was supposed to call this meeting? Board of Directors was supposed to call. Within 21 days, they should have proceeded, and maximum 45 days. 21 to 45 days में ये meeting हो जानी चाहिए. Minimum 21 days, maximum 45. They failed to call the meeting, then requisitionists will call the meeting with 3 months from the date of requisition by this date. And this meeting will be considered as if it is a meeting called by the Board of Directors. ये लिखने की क्या जरूरत है? क्योंकि बेटा खर्चा हुआ होगा मीटिंग करने के लिए. All the expenditures incurred by requisitionists in calling the meeting will be reimbursed by the company, and this sum will be deducted from the remuneration of directors because they have defaulted in calling the meeting. So under section 197, when the income is paid to the directors, remuneration is given to them. While paying this remuneration, we will deduct this sum, we will reduce the sum from their salary. Okay? समझ आया? So फटाफट से इसको brief करते हैं, पहले complete कर लो. Calling of meeting of EGM by requisitionists themselves, requisitionists will send a notice in writing or through electronic modes at least 21 days before calling this meeting. So 21 days का notice भेजेंगे वो meeting call करने के लिए. This notice will specify the date, time, place, and hour where the meeting is to be held and what kind of business they're going to be conducting. They will convene the meeting at the RO of the company or where the RO is situated, except the national holiday. Same provisions, national holiday nahi honi chahiye. If it is a resolution proposed to be a special resolution, then the notice under 114 will also be given. Abhi ke liye isko chhod dena. Jab 114 padhenge tab samjhenge iska meaning kya. All the requisitionists will sign this notice. No explanatory statement is to be attached to the notice of extraordinary general meeting. They can simply give the reasons for which they want to make the meeting. इसको भी अभी छोड़ दो. अभी हम explanatory statement 101, 102, 114 जब पढ़ेंगे तब इस part को देखेंगे. अभी के लिए simple, what is necessary? 21 days clear notice should be given. 21 days clear notice means the date when the notice is posted and the date of receiving is not to be included. Clear 21 days. So 1st of January, 22nd of January. Proper 21 days का gap होना चाहिए. Okay. So if the date, place, hour of the meeting, all these provisions are related to section 101, we will understand when we do 101. So let's have a quick recap of EGM. Notice will be given to those whose name is given. Requisitioner will have the right to receive the registered address. एक point और है क्या बेटा? तो सबको notice देना है आपने जिनका भी name appear होता है within 3 days of the receipt of valid requisition by company. So who is going to give the notice? Notice will be given to all the members whose names are appearing in the register of members within 3 days on the receipt of valid requisition. So हमारी 1st October को valid requisition थी. Within 3 days अगर कोई new member भी join हुआ है, सबका नाम जो आता है 3 days के अंदर अंदर जिन सबका नाम आ रहा है उन सबको 21 days clear cut notice should be given. Requisitionists will have the right to receive all the addresses and number of shares held by the company to give the information as on 21st day from the receipt of the valid requisition, if any before the expiry of 45 days. वो कहते हैं आपको 21 to 45 days का हमने टाइम दिया ना बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स. अगर आपने नहीं मीटिंग करनी तो इस टाइम के पीरियड में मुझे सबके एड्रेस शेयर्स हेल्ड दे दी. फॉर इंग्लिश स्टूडेंट्स, within 21 to 45 days, all this information should be given. If the meeting is not convened, requisitionists will give the right to get all the information within this time. Notice of the meeting shall be given by speed post or the registered post. Any accidental omission happen to give the notice, it will not invalidate the proceedings of it. So what is the meaning of accidental omission and जानबूझकर omission? If the address was not correct, Board of directors have not given the correct address. The number of shares held, information was not correct. Any accidentally omission has happened, it will not invalidate the meetings. But if intentionally you have not served the notice, then section 101 will tell the circumstances what will happen. थोड़ा सिंपल करते हैं फटाफट से. Who will call the AGM? Who will call the AGM? लिखते जाओ चैट बॉक्स में, लर्न हो जाएगा. Board of directors will call the AGM. On the request received by whom? On the request received by whom? Requisitionists. If the company is not having share capital, then how many members should have requisition? Members having 1/10 of the. What is requisition? चलो बड़ा अच्छा क्वेश्चन आया मुस्तफा. Requisition means request करना. हम सारे शेयर होल्डर्स थे जो भी क्लास में है, हम 1/10 ऑफ द पेड अप कैपिटल ऑफ द कंपनी होल्ड करते हैं एंड डायरेक्टर्स के पास हम लेकर गए रिक्वेस्ट कि वी आर 1/10 ऑफ द टोटल पेड अप कैपिटल शेयर होल्डर्स, प्लीज कॉल द एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी जनरल. So on our request, board of directors will proceed and call the general meeting. Clear? Everybody is clear? What is the meaning of requisition? 14 February 24. अब क्या लिखते जा रहे हो बेटा? आप मुझे इसका आंसर नहीं दे रहे हो requisitions का. Aishwarya is asking if it is conducting outside India. In India, there is Independence Day. Wow. So Aishwarya, we will go to the basic rule. On national holiday, AGM and EGM cannot be conducted. If you are holding wholly owned subsidiary company outside India, if you're holding it outside India, so there is a general provision of foreign companies incorporated outside India, then you generally follow the rules and regulations applicable of that country as well. So accordingly, we will have to see how the things are happening. Okay, Shwarya? Very good. Shamli is now answering 1/10 of the total voting power. Who will call the meeting? Okay, now, next question. So if board and this requisition will tell all the matters and signing ownership, within how many days the board should call the extraordinary general meeting? It shall proceed to call the meeting within 21 days and not later than 45 days. So क्या लिखोगे आप? 21 to 45 days के अंदर 21 days के बाद ये नोटिस भेज दे and 45 days के अंदर मीटिंग कन्वेन हो जानी चाहिए. Everybody is clear? If the board did not call the meeting, then what will happen? What will happen? Meeting will be called. Please repeat second and third point, date, part with examples. Which one, Prakhar? 21 to 45 days? Okay, अभी करा examples के साथ. ठीक है, पहले एक बार रिवाइज कर लें. हाँ जी, तो फिर बोर्ड अगर नहीं करा तो क्या होगा? Requisitionist will call the meetings on their own within a period of 3 months from the date of requisition. And this meeting will be considered as if the meeting held by board themselves. And who will bear the expenses? Whatever expenditures have been incurred by the requisitionists, they will be deducted from the remuneration of the directors. So चलो डेट के साथ करते हैं. बोर्ड के पास रिक्वेस्ट आई. किसकी रिक्वेस्ट आनी चाहिए? मैम, 1/10 of the shareholders holding paid up capital. Request received on 1st July 23. When should board proceed to call the meeting? चलो जल्दी बताओ सारे बच्चे. 21 days from the date of valid requisition. Very good, Lingar. All the answers are correct. Savya, excellent. 21st July से कर दे. Very good, Yuvam Paul. All the answers are correct. Now let's do this example. 22nd July. Very good. So 22nd July 23, you should proceed to call the meeting. So उसने कहा मुझे 22nd को नहीं करना है, 21 days में करना चाहिए था. उसने कहा मैं 3rd August को कर रहा हूँ. कर सकता है? 3 अगस्त को कर सकते हैं? यस मैम, 45 डेज तक कर दो। कब खत्म हो रहे 45 डेज, जल्दी बताओ मुझे। 15 अगस्त आ गया, इसमें आता हूँ। 16 अगस्त 23। क्यों नहीं लिया मैंने 15 अगस्त? क्यों ले रहे हो 15 अगस्त मुस्तफा? क्योंकि 15 अगस्त को नहीं होल्ड करना है, नेशनल हॉलीडे है। कंसेप्ट में कंसेप्ट, एक पॉइंट में दूसरा पॉइंट जुड़ा हुआ। मैम क्लियर मतलब, भाई क्लियर मतलब डेट ऑफ सेंडिंग द नोटिस एंड द डेट ऑफ रिसीट विल नॉट बी काउंटेड। सो 22 से भी आप कर सकते हो, दैट इज ऑल्सो करेक्ट। Everybody understood till here? Not later than 14th August. So 21st and 14th August, Shamli, that is also correct. 45 days you're counting. Yes, Peter, 31st July. So 14 days have to be counted. Why are we going till 15th August? It should be 14th August. Okay? 31st July and 14 days, 45 days. So here also it can be 21 days from the within 21 days from the date of calling the meeting. Now, if board fails to call the meeting, then within how much time period the requisitions can call the meeting? July, August, September. By 30th September 23, requisitionists. Requisitionists means जिन्होंने request करी थी. Requisitionists will call the meeting. Everybody is clear. And suppose there was an expense of 15,000 rupees. Who will bear this? Who will bear this? Board will bear this, will be deducted from board's remuneration. चलो लिख लो, कॉपी पेस्ट करो इसको जल्दी सब। क्लियर हो गया सबको? एवरीबडी इज क्लियर? Let's go to the study material. Somebody is asking something. Now clear ना? हाँ, अब तो बेटा एग्जाम्पल के साथ तो क्लियर हो ही जाता है आप सबको, है ना? टेक्निकल है, टेक्निकल है, बहुत ज्यादा टेक्निकल। टॉपिक ही टेक्निकल। रिपोर्ट ऑन एजीएम हमने अभी ये वाला नहीं करा ना। एक छोटे से टॉपिक कर ले बीच में, रिपोर्ट ऑन एजीएम, सेक्शन 121. Section 121 says, because AGM से related है ना, every listed public company will prepare a report on AGM, including the confirmation that the meeting was convened. So हर कंपनी ना एक रिपोर्ट बनाएगी, every listed public company एक रिपोर्ट बनाएगी कि AGM प्रॉपर से कंडक्ट हुआ था and it was taken place. This report has to be filed in MGT 15 within 30 days of conclusion of the AGM. So MGT 15 form is given under section 121, which says that a report has to be made in MGT 15 within 30 days of concluding the AGM. You will have to file this with the registrar, and this report will tell you, the report shall be prepared in addition to the minutes of the meeting. It shall be dated and signed by the chairman and will contain the following things: what was the hour of the venue of the AGM, how the chairman was appointed, number of members, quorum कितना आया था, ये सारी डिटेल्स आपने 121 में डिटेल्स में देंगे. Particulars for the adjournment. What is the meaning of adjournment? Postpone कर देना, मीटिंग को आगे वाली डेट में ले जाना, adjourn कर. It should have a correct and fair summary of the proceedings. And if company fails to give within 30 days this report, then 1 lakh rupees is the penalty and 500 for the further penalty. For the officer in default, it's 5 lakh rupees. and not less than 25,000. So the simple penalty you can learn, but section 121 important है. अभी क्वेश्चन में भी पूछूंगी आपसे क्या लर्न करना है 121 में. MGT 15 होना चाहिए, 30 days में जमा कराना है ऑफ मीटिंग, ये सारे डिटेल्स होनी चाहिए, डेट, टाइम, कंफर्मेशन ऑफ quorum, business transacted, everything. If not done, company is liable to 1 lakh rupees and further 500 rupees, during which the default subject to maximum 5 lakhs and every officer not less than 25,000. 500 rupees maximum. All right. Votes on requisitionists themselves call the EGM. Board of Directors can call the EGM. ये requisitions वाले point हैं. 21 days from the date of receipt, they must proceed to call the meeting. सारे points आपके cover हो गए. If board does not within 21 days call the meeting, they will themselves proceed to call the meeting on a day not later than 45 days. A meeting held by the requisitionist, but the meeting may be called and held within a period of 3 months. Three months का time requisitionist के पास है, board के पास 21 to 45 days. And expenditures आप ले लेना डायरेक्टर के, उसमें से डिफॉल्ट में से, रेम्यूनरेशन में से काट लेना. ये फिर सारे नोटिस वाले पॉइंट है जो हमने पढ़ लिए हैं. यस, आई वांटेड टू डू दिस इलस्ट्रेशन विद यू. बस खत्म होने वाला, टेंशन नहीं लेनी. आज थोड़े से मुझे थके थके बुझे बुझे लग रहे हो सब लोग, क्योंकि कंटेंट हैवी है ना, क्या कर सकते हैं. बट अभी थोड़ा सा करते हैं, एंजॉय करेंगे. इफ आई एम अ डायरेक्टर एंड इट इज माय फॉल्ट, आई डोंट कंडक्ट. यस मुस्तफा, देन वी विल कंडक्ट डिडक्टेड फ्रॉम योर सैलरी, डोंट वरी. मनीषा आर. Okay, चलो 2 illustrations करके then I'll try to cheer up your mood. We'll discuss something different so that you're not so tensed, because I can feel that tensed vibrations from your messages कि थोड़ा सा डिटेल्ड है. MGT है बेटा, बड़ा चैप्टर है ना, बहुत बड़ा चैप्टर है, बहुत सारे प्रोविजंस है, बहुत सारे फॉर्म्स है. बट अभी देखना, जब क्वेश्चंस दिखाऊंगी ना, अभी आपको एकदम से आंसर कर रहे होंगे सभी. ठीक है. Yes, definitely, Tanveer. We are going to do practice questions. Let's do these illustrations, then we will do the practice questions. The members of Blue Move Peacocks Appliances Limited holding more than 1/10 of the voting power requisitioned the Board of Directors to call the general meeting on 14th July. अब ध्यान से सुनो, सिर्फ सब कुछ भूल जाओ, ईजीएम के अंदर डूब जाओ. सोचो ईजीएम आप कंडक्ट करानी है, 1/10 रिक्वेजिशंस वाले आते हैं, डेट्स क्या है 21 to 45 डेज. सिर्फ इसमें ध्यान दो, कुछ मत सोचो, फुल कंसंट्रेशन. कंपनी ने मीटिंग करनी है, मोर देन 1/10 ऑफ द वोटिंग पावर ने रिक्वेस्ट करी. मैम बिल्कुल ठीक है, 1/10 ऑफ द वोटिंग पावर कर सकते हैं. 14 जुलाई को रिक्वेस्ट करी, 21 डेज काउंट करने शुरू कर भी दिए आप लोगों ने. Directors did not pay any heed to this requisition and no meeting was called. बहुत खराब डायरेक्टर्स थे, उन्होंने मीटिंग बुलाई ही नहीं. Discuss the consequences of not calling the general meeting on the request. तो क्या होगा बेटा, बोलते बोर्ड को 21 डेज में प्रोसीड करना था एंड 45 डेज तक मीटिंग कॉल करनी थी. उसने टेंशन ही नहीं ली नंबर ऑफ डेज काउंट करने की, वो सिर्फ लॉ लिख कर आ रहा है. दैट मीन्स अगर आप लॉ भी लिखाओगे वहां पे तब भी ठीक है. 21-22 दिन में कंफ्यूज मत होना. 21 से 45 दिन आपको याद, 21 to 45 days you remember, write it down, finish. And the requisition will call the meeting. This should be done within a period of 3 months. This will be considered as the meeting held by the board themselves, and whatever kharcha pani tha, this should be taken from the director's remuneration. Accordingly, the requisitions can hold and call the general meeting 3 months from the date of requisition, since the board has not done. So वैसे इन्होंने डेट पूछी नहीं है, आप बता दो मुझे डेट प्लीज. 14 जुलाई, 14 अगस्त, 14 सितंबर, 14 अक्टूबर तक आप मीटिंग कर सकते हो. सच्ची बताना, क्वेश्चन मुश्किल था? कितना इजी इलस्ट्रेशन था, सो सिंपल. 3 months from the date of requisition you can. Illustration 16 पढ़ते हैं, relax. Board of Directors, a company having its registered office, did not call the meeting despite of the requisition received from required number of requisitions. Required number क्या होते हैं? 1/10 of the paid up share capital or 1/10 of the total voting power. ठीक है? Requisition themselves decided to call the meeting in Spain on 2nd October. चलो जी आ गया आपका, पूछ रहे थे, बाहर कर सकते हैं 2nd October को. Keeping in view of the above facts, meeting cannot be proposed to be held by the requisition. They should hold the meeting at the RO or the same city where the RO is situated. The day of holding meeting should be a working day and not a national holiday. Therefore, 2nd October is a national holiday. You cannot convene the meeting. तो वो आपसे date and time and place की बात कर रहा है. Requisition, it's a company having its registered office in New Delhi. उन्होंने meeting नहीं करी. So आपने यहाँ पे assumption लिखना that we are assuming it's not a wholly owned subsidiary company situated outside India. So it is important to call the meeting within India, that is New Delhi, where the RO is situated, and the date should be a working day, not a national holiday. So 2nd October को meeting नहीं हो सकती है, आपको किसी और दिन meeting करनी. Interesting. Take a 5 minutes break. Relax, absorb AGM and EGM because I am going to discuss just the questions with you. We'll not be proceeding ahead in the syllabus now. We will just do important 2-3 case study based questions. So let's take a 5 minutes break here. Just go through and absorb the information of EGM. So we're taking a small break here. All right, students, let's proceed with certain important questions. Any doubts till then? Anybody has any doubts? Okay. Solve this MCQ. First annual general meeting of the company should be held within dash from the close of the first financial year. Prakhar, Shamli, Mustafa, absolutely correct. Ashilisha, Prerna. Ashilisha, incorrect. Prerna, correct. Aishwarya, good answer. Pooja, B, correct. Everybody has given the correct answer. So it should be held 9 months from the close of first financial year. All right. So we had a question related to 121 also. Just a second. Have you seen the MGD form, students? Have you seen the MGD forms? Okay, let us see the MGD 7 and 7A. So this form is for MGD 7. What is MGD 7 stands for? What does MGD 7 stands for? Annual return. So this is how the MGD 7 forms look like. Registration and other details, SIN number of the company, PAN has to be given. All the details over here has to be given clearly. And after that, you give the principal, place of the business. Remember all the details that we have read over there in the section 92, registration and other details. Then you give the principal business activities, holding subsidiary, associate, share capital and debentures. ये सारे आपने points में पढ़े हैं. तो इस तरह से पूरा breakup देना है. कितनी authorized share capital है, कितनी issued है, subscribed है, paid up है, classes of shares, breakup of the share capital. Then all the increase, decrease, placements that has taken place, everything will be showed in detail. Debentures outstanding. So every detail about the shares, debentures, other securities will be given. Turnover and the net worth of the company. Shareholding pattern. How individuals are holding the shareholder pattern. What is the body, corporate, venture capital, mutual funds. सारों का shareholding patterns बताना. Name of the promoters, debenture holders, remember, key managerial personas, directors. ये आपका third, fourth point था वहां पर. Meetings के बारे में था, particulars of changes था, board meetings के बारे में था, committee meetings, all these audit committees to be held, attendance of directors, penalties and punishment, certification of compliance, foreign institutional investors का भी point था. Okay, listed companies, all these lists has to be given. And then they say that we certified that the return is clear as on the date of the closure of financial year. And within how many days we will file this return? Within 60 days from the date of holding the AG. Then children, we also give attachments to this. Copy of MGT 8. पढ़ा हुआ ना आपने इसके बारे में MGT 8. क्या था MGT 8? CS in practice का certificate that everything has been complied. All right. Yes, except OPC, annual return for the companies. Let me show you the returns for MGT 4 and 5 also we have not seen. Here, let us see those forms. पहले ये देखते हैं MGT 7A, which is the abridged annual return specifically for OPC. एक बार फॉर्म्स देख लो, फिर डिबेंचर्स पे चलते हैं. हमने डिबेंचर्स भी सोचा हुआ था करने. रजिस्ट्रेशन एंड अदर डिटेल्स, particulars सारा चीजें वही हैं, but format different है. This is specifically for your MGT 7A. Okay, again same, all those equity, preference, shareholders details, details of registration, securities की details दी हुई है, shareholding pattern, same format. सिर्फ उसका abridged form है, दिखता different है. Meetings के बारे में दिया हुआ है, remuneration of directors दिया हुआ है, penalties and punishment, and then we certify all these attachments. Okay. Is this clear? Students, I want you to do certain part of the so we have the questions for you. Yes, here are the questions. पहले annual return की questions करते हैं, फिर उसमें चलेंगे. Let's read the first one. Nutty Buddy Limited, it's manufacturing premium quality based ice cream in 2 flavors. First, a chocolate, and second is butterscotch. Company called its AGM in order to lay down the financial statements for shareholders' approval. Due to the want of quorum, the meeting was cancelled. Directors did not file the annual return and they were of the idea that it has to be filed within 60 days. हमने इससे मिलता जुलता क्वेश्चन करा हुआ. Bazaar Limited called this AGM in order to lay down the financial statements. For the want of quorum, the meeting was cancelled. Now, these are examination questions, children. Can you give me the answer for this one? Let me understand how well you have understood the lecture. What will be the correct answer? Take 2 minutes, read it, and tell me. What will be the correct answer for this one? Very good, Adil Khan. Everybody agrees it should have been held 60 days of the date of holding the AGM, and you have to specify the reasons why it was not held. 30 days within AGM, Kuldeep. If AGM was not held, company is required to submit MGT. Yes, Kuldeep, that's great. What about others? Very good, Jaya. Very good, Mustafa. Absolutely correct answer. Now, I just wanted to show you how the case studies have to be attempted. So, you will simply write down according to section 92. पहले आप time period बताओगे 60 days वाला, reasons देने हैं. In the given case, the directors have not held analysis and conclusion. Even if the annual general meeting was not held, the date of closing of the company has contravened the provisions. They will attract the penal provisions along with every officer of the company. Now, this is what is important for you to learn how to attempt the answers. There was just one word answer that yes, it should have been held, but how you attempt it, how you write it, and the penal provisions. Please, how will they be penalized? They're asking you about the penalty also. I told you section 92 की penalty important है. Annual return नहीं file कर रहे हो तो important है, याद करनी है आपको. 10,000, maximum 100 for each day, to the maximum penalty of rupees 2 lakh. 50,000 for the officer in different. Have to mention. Techno Limited maintains its registered. ये करा तो नहीं ना आपने मेरे साथ पहले. At its registered office in Mumbai, a group of members are residing in Kolkata. They want to keep the register of members at Kolkata. Explain the company can keep the registers and returns at Kolkata. Yes or no? Director of the company have the right to inspect the register of members. Yes or no? बताओ. दोनों questions answer करो. Let me see how well you have understood section 88 and how well you have revised it also. Very good. Yes, Mustafa, like that only you have to answer all these questions. Excellent, Yuvam Paul. Beautifully written the answer and also the penalty you should write. Anubhav Malik, very good. बिल्कुल ठीक आंसर है आपका बेटा. इंद्रानी, शामिली. 1/10 of the shareholders अगर रिजाइड करते हैं तो कर सकते हैं. बिल्कुल सही जवाब. तो फर्स्ट पार्ट का 1/10 of the total number if it is approved by SR. SR भी याद रखो बेटा, दोनों चीज. So they can keep the returns and registers if more than 1/10 of the members are residing. Inspection डायरेक्टर कर सकते हैं. Section 94 में हमने पढ़ा था. Yes ma'am, inspection of the registers can be done by any member, debenture holder, the security holders or beneficial owners without the payment of fees. Ranjit is not the shareholder, so he has no right to inspect as per the provisions of the section. So other than shareholders, but it can be done only after the payment of the fees. ICAI has mentioned that the director has no right. The answer seems to be. So what you have to write over here. So similarly, it says this is your ICAI module questions. So in such cases, children, you will have to write down the provision, what it is calling for. If it is telling you, if we read section 94, it says that only the shareholder can be inspected. But it is clearly written that where somebody else, where a person other than the shareholder, director has no right. So it says, unless you see that the shareholder may not inspect, shareholder can only inspect, but it can only be done after the payment of the fees. So अगर आप conclusion में अपनी assumption भी लिख कर आ रहे हो that the fees was paid, then also it's a correct. Okay. Let's do one more question that I wanted to do from AGM. Shambhu Limited was incorporated on 1st April 2018. Company did not have much to report to its shareholders, so no general meeting has been held till 30th April 2020. Company has recently appointed a new accountant. He has pointed out that the company was required to hold AGM and has approached you as a senior chartered accountant. So all my students are now a senior chartered accountant for Shambhu Limited. Please advise them what is the time of holding first AGM and the power of registrar to grant the extension. ध्यान से क्वेश्चन पढ़ो, मैं आपको 2 मिनट दे रही हूँ. रिलैक्स होकर पढ़ो और आंसर दो मुझे इसका. सिर्फ एब्रीविएशंस मत लिखना, प्रॉपर आंसर चाहिए मुझे इसका. Everybody is going to, this is the last question. We are going to wind up after this. And now in the next class, we will start from debentures only. Because वो debenture या फिर कर ले revise debenture trustee फटाफट से. कर लेते. ये question करो फिर कर. Linga R, your answer was correct. All the previous answers, Kuldeep, everybody has given the correct answer. Even the penalties were correct. Let me see the students on the portal till then. Very good, Amit Biswas. On the question that you have raised, 31st March 2025 will be the correct answer. Mr. Mithan, you can follow the same module. There are not much changes, okay? And for any changes, you should always refer to the online study material. It is always updated. Amit Biswas, correct answers for the previous one. Very good, Prakhar, correct answer. Everybody has given the correct answer. So let me show you. According to 96, every company first AGM 9 months में होना चाहिए. So उनका year end कब हो रहा है? 1st April 2018. So the year ends on 31st March 2019. So the first AGM should have been held any time before 31st December. So the registrar can give the extension, but not more than 3 months. The first AGM should have been held on or before 31st December. Registrar does not have the power to grant the time limit extension for the first AGM. First AGM तो already extended है ना 9 months का time period. So here यहाँ पे कोई extension नहीं मिलनी चाहिए आपको. Subsequent AGM के बारे में भी आप लिख कर आ सकते. Subsequent AGM कब होना चाहिए उसके बारे में भी लिख कर आ सकते हो. उसमें extension मिल सकती. Now quickly tell me, are you in a current mindset of going back to debentures, or you want to revise this and then in the next class you want to Anubhav has written no? Or you want to revise this and then in the next class we can start with little revision of debentures, because I'll be meeting you for the next 2 more classes and we'll be completing MGD. So one last line that I want to say, children, it's absolutely normal if you feel that it's too much of the syllabus. Yes, it is. Let's accept the fact. But the only thing is the smile from your face should not go. Just relax and read all the provisions that we have done till now. We have completed section 88 to section 100. सुनने में बहुत ज्यादा लग रहे हैं बट सिंपल है, आपको आते हैं. जब आप रिवाइज करोगे तो एक पेन एंड पेपर लेकर बैठना, फटाफट से एजीएम निकालना. 9 months, 15 months, 12 months, 6 months, आपको सब पता है. फटाफट से एक बार लिख लेना. Write it down and then check your work. When you'll open EGM, you write down the requisition is 1/10 of the paid up share capital, 1/10 of the total voting power, 21 to 45 days time period, if not called 3 months time period, deducted from the salary. आपको याद आ जाएगा. अभी आपने पहली बारी सुना है. You've just heard the things for the very first time, so it's absolutely normal to feel heavy. But once you'll read it, relax it, sit down at your home and read it, then you revise it, everything will be on your tips. I have certain more questions related to AGM, but I will ask you once you have revised the book. All right. I hope this much motivation is enough for today. Yeah, it's very interesting for CA to deal with Companies Act. Very nice, Kuldeep. That's very true, because you're studying the same things and then you're providing consultancy on the same. Okay. Yes, Prakhar, next class only we'll do. We are not taking up debentures. Shamli also written, ma'am, next class. So I can understand. So I hope you will revise it and learn it. And I see you on Monday now. Thank you, Deepika. I'm glad you like this motivation, which is very important, and keep going. All the best to all of you. See you all on Monday. All right. Thank you, Yuvam Paul. I'm glad you enjoyed the session. That's good. Okay, sir. We are done. Yes, sir. तो नहीं ना रहे. ठीक है, मैंने मैम से पूछा नहीं है वैसे. ठीक है सर.